students. This is my second class in the series of classes for essays for the GT students. And in the first class, I focused on the agree disagree type of opinion essay, and this class I'm focusing on the positive negative development type of opinion essays. Now, as I was compiling these essays from my book, which is a compilation of all the past essays seen in the GT IELTS exam, I realized that just to compile 10 essays and one essay for the homework, I was done with 179 essays of my book, which means that this is relatively much less asked as compared to the agree, disagree, or discuss, or the problem solution essay to the IELTS students. However, you cannot leave it out because you have to attempt only one essay over there, and if you get this essay, for you the incidence would be 100%. And it is the handling of the positive negative development is the same as the um, agree disagree essay. Now if you think logically, agree disagree essay is an essay in which there is an opinion of someone and you have to agree or disagree with that. Handling is the same in the sense that in an agree disagree essay you can go one sided, you can agree strongly or you can agree or disagree. You can agree or disagree strongly or you can agree or disagree with a concession. If you attend my class 1, you will understand what I mean. Here also you can go one sided, like you can say it is a positive development or you can say it is a negative development, and then you do not have to write about the other side. But if you use the while statement, while there are a few positives of something that is given, the negatives are far more, or while there are a few negatives, the positives are far more, then you can go two sided. So, in that way, the handling is the same. The only difference is in the understanding of the essay. Like in the agree disagree, it is somebody's opinion with which you have to agree or disagree. But in a positive negative development essay, there is something which is happening, okay, which is happening, which is the reality of today, or which is a fact, and then you have to say whether you think it this is positive or it is negative. So let us go through these essays and you'll understand the how to recognize a positive negative development and then how to go about it. Many students take part-time jobs while studying in universities. Do you think it is a positive or negative development? Now, students do university studies, you know that, okay? And while doing those studies, many students take on part-time jobs, okay? This is a fact, this is a reality of today. You also know many of your cousins, your elder brothers, sisters must have been studying in university and doing some part-time job side by side. Now, the question to you is whether doing part-time jobs is positive or negative. So in the agree disagree essay we wrote that it is believed by some. Here you cannot write it is believed by some because it is the reality. It is the truth. And you just have to say whether it is positive or negative. So your introduction will be it is true that many students have to do some part-time job while studying. I believe that while there are a few negatives of this, the positives are far more. Then in one para you can give the negatives. You can say they don't get time for their studies or it is more stressful, and then two paras on the positives. You can make it a four para essay also, in one para negatives and in one para positives, but the positive para should have 1 point more. And in the conclusion you just have to repeat what you wrote in the intro. Okay. So, this is how these essays go. Second essay, some developed countries have reduced the number of school hours. Is this a positive or negative development? Here also understand that some developed countries they have reduced it. So, this is something which is happening, the reality, the truth. And you have to say whether reducing school hours, like normally children go to school from 9 to 3 or from 8 to 2, they have made the school hours from 9 to 1. Okay, like that they've reduced the school hours. Now, is this reduction in the school hours positive or negative? This is the question to you. So you will begin that it is true that in many developed nations The number of school hours have been reduced, have been cut down. I believe that while there are a few positives of this, the negatives are far more. Or you can say, while there are a few negatives of decreasing the school hours, the positives are far more. And then you can make your paragraphs accordingly. The third essay, some languages spoken by very few people are losing their importance and may become extinct completely. What are the reasons for this? Is it a positive or negative development? So here also again this is a fact, this is a reality that there are some languages which many people now do not speak because they are maybe some tribal languages, and those people of the tribes are decreasing in numbers, and so their speakers are also becoming less, and they are now becoming extinct, like there's nobody left who speaks that language. That is what it means by extinct. Now, in this essay, if you note, they have asked the reasons. So you have to dedicate one para to the reasons. So you will write the reasons are that, you can write the reasons like because those languages are not needed to communicate with the world. And so people are speaking them less and less, and it's more fashionable to speak the most common languages like English, French, so that is why people are switching to these languages because they want to be part of the global village. So these are the reasons. Now, after dedicating one para to the reasons, in the introduction you will give the paraphrasing that there are some languages which are becoming extinct altogether. And in this essay, I'll discuss the reasons of this development. I believe it is, you can say it is a positive development, because personally I have written I think it is a positive development, or I can write while there are a few negatives of this, the positives are far more than negatives, you can say, because with the language the culture also dies. So language and culture are interrelated, and so with the language the culture also dies, so that way it is a positive development. A negative development, the cultures are also vanishing of the world, and so the diversity is coming down, diversity of the world is coming down, so like that you can write. But you can also say on the positive side, it is leading to more, you can say harmony in the world, because people can understand each other, they can speak to each other, because if anybody else doesn't know your language you cannot communicate, so communication is getting better, and as communication is getting better, people are able to do trade also with other people, because then they can communicate with them. So communication and trade are getting better because of um, fewer languages being spoken. Okay, and most of the uncommon languages dying out, so fewer languages are there, so more communication, more trade. Okay, that way you can write the essay. Fourth essay is airline companies in many countries have reduced the cost of tickets. So you know that now, around 3 decades back, it was very difficult for an average person to travel by air, couldn't even think of that. But today, um, a common man can also dream of traveling by air because the airline tickets have come down. Now, this is a fact. This is what is happening. They have asked you whether this reduction in the cost of tickets is a positive or a negative development. So here also you have to give your view. I would say that reduction in the cost of tickets is, while it has a few drawbacks, in the drawbacks you can write that more air travel, more pollution, more usage of fuel, and that would be negative. And on the positive side, you can write that common man can also now travel to different places, spread his business globally, things like that. So this is reducing the cost of tickets. So you can write whatever you think, and this is a fact. This is happening. This is not believed by some, like in the agree disagree essay. Some people think there'll be decrease in international travel in future. Do you think less amount of international travel is a positive or a negative development? So this is okay. Now some people think, so here it is, some people think, you can write it is believed by some, that in future, now it is a future situation, so it's somebody is thinking that in future, international travel will come down. Okay, now this reduction in the international travel, whether it is positive or negative, this is the question to you. So if international travel is reduced, sorry for that, If international travel is reduced, then what will happen? Then there will be less pollution, less usage of fuel, and less spread of diseases. So this will be the positives if international travel is reduced. But on the negative side, if international travel is reduced, then businesses would suffer, okay? Then culture exchange would suffer. So all the advantage of international travel would not happen. So here you have to be very cleverly understand that if you are writing that international reduction in international travel is the positive points of the reduction, that will be the negatives of international travel. International travel negatives are that too much fuel is used, too much pollution, and this spread of diseases. So all this will be the positives of the reduction of international travel. सो इफ़ आई से इन हिंदी कि अगर इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल कम हो जाती है तो जो इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल से फ़ायदे होंगे वो हमें नहीं होंगे, ठीक है? और अगर इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल से जो नुकसान होते हैं वो कम हो जाएंगे, तो इसका मतलब इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल कम होने से जो इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल के नुकसान हैं वो नहीं होंगे, तो फ़ायदा हो जाएगा इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल कम होने से. सो दैट वे यू हैव टू राइट. ठीक है. Sixth essay is more and more media attention is being paid to famous people who are successful in sports and movies. Why do you think this is happening? See, again, you can see the why has been asked. So you have to dedicate a paragraph to this why reasons, and then you have to write whether it is positive or negative. So more and more media attention ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सेलिब्रिटीज़ जो स्पोर्ट्स सेलिब्रिटीज़ हैं और जो एंटरटेनमेंट सेलिब्रिटीज़ हैं उनको मीडिया अटेंशन दी जाती है. इसका मतलब है इनके बारे में टीवी पे बहुत आता है, इनके बारे में अखबारों में बहुत लिखा जाता है, तो मीडिया अटेंशन इनको दी जा रही है. और ये क्यों हो रहा है, इसमें आपने रीजंस डालने हैं, क्योंकि लोग ये इनके बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, ऐसे रीजंस हैं. और टीवी चैनल्स और ये अपनी टीआरपी बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, ये रीजंस हैं. और क्या ये पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है? मेरे हिसाब से तो ये नेगेटिव है. नेगेटिव इसलिए है बिकॉज जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं उसे ध्यान हटा के इनके बारे में ही लोग पढ़ते रहते हैं और इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ों पे उनका ध्यान नहीं जाता. सो इस वे में मैंने इसको नेगेटिव लिखा है. और यू कैन राइट इट इज़ पॉजिटिव कि लोग इनके बारे में लोग इनसे मोटिवेट होते हैं, ये जो अच्छे काम करते हैं. किसी भी वे में अपना ऐसे लिखो, बट यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट एक पैरे में रीजन देने हैं और फिर आप जो लिखोगे कि ये पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है उस हिसाब से आपके पैरे बनेंगे. इफ़ यू राइट वाइल देर आर ए फ्यू पॉजिटिव ओवरऑल इट इज़ नेगेटिव, तो आप दोनों चीज़ें भी लिख सकते हो रीजंस के पैरे के अलावा. ओके, बट आपकी इंट्रोडक्शन डिसाइड करती है कि आपके हिस्से में क्या है. In some countries, more people choose to live alone or by themselves in recent years. Why is this the case? Is it a positive or negative development? इसमें भी है, ज़्यादा लोग आजकल अकेले रहते हैं, ठीक है, और अपने में ही मस्त रहते हैं. ऐसा क्यों होने लगा है? बिकॉज सी इसमें क्या है कि डिपेंडेंस कम हो गई है लोगों की एक दूसरे पे. सो डिपेंडेंस कम होने से मतलब है दैट यू नो everything they can do on their own, and they choose to, and they don't want any interference in their lives. ये reasons है why is this the case का पैरा बनाना है. और क्या ये पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है? मेरे हिसाब से इट इज़ ज़्यादा नेगेटिव, थोड़ा पॉजिटिव. सो यू कैन राइट लाइक दैट. ज़्यादा नेगेटिव में बिकॉज मैन इज़ अ सोशल एनिमल, ही नीड सपोर्ट फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. And if people are on their own, they are alone, then they don't have anybody to you know have any uh, shoulder to cry on अगर उनका बुरा टाइम आता है. तो ये इस वे में मेरे हिसाब से ये नेगेटिव है. बट आप जैसे मर्जी लिखना चाहो वैसी इंट्रोडक्शन बना के यू कैन राइट. And by the way, sample essays of all these topics are there in this file, which I'll be sharing with you. You can read all these sample essays. और positive negative development essay का आपका concept पूरी तरह clear हो जाना चाहिए after you go through these 10 essays. In many countries, people are not taking care of their elderly relatives but seeking the help of professionals to look after them. Do you think this is a positive or negative development? अब आप ये देखो, आज की ये हकीकत है कि एल्डरली रिलेटिव्स हैं घर में, लोग ज़िंदा रह रहे हैं टिल 100, 105, 106, इवन मोर देन दैट एट टाइम्स. और उनकी जो केयर करने वाले अपने उनके बच्चे हैं वो भी 70-80 साल के हैं. हाउ कैन दे केयर फॉर देम? इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. उनके बच्चे हैं, उनको वो एक जनरेशन की केयर करें, दो जनरेशन की केयर करें, तो क्या हो रहा है? दिस इज़ अ फैक्ट ऑफ टुडे कि लोग ना प्रोफेशनल केयर हायर कर रहे हैं घर में, सुबह शाम की नर्स रखी हुई है। ओके, इसके बारे में आपसे पूछ रहे हैं, इज इट पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव? तो मेरे हिसाब से इसके वाइल देर आर ए फ्यू नेगेटिव, ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव्स है। ठीक है, तो आप दोनों चीज़ें लिखोगे। नेगेटिव्स में ये लिख दोगे कि लोग अपने अपने पेरेंट्स के पास फिर बैठते ही नहीं, उनको लगता है कि पैसा खर्च रहे हैं, केयर रखी हुई है, सो दे आर बीइंग लुक्ड आफ्टर, हमारी ड्यूटी ख़त्म। बट एल्डरली पीपल ऑल्सो नीड द लव एंड अफेक्शन ऑफ देयर ओन पीपल अराउंड देम। ओके, ये नेगेटिव है। पॉजिटिव्स में फिर उनको अच्छी केयर मिल रही है सुबह शाम, बिकॉज सारे काम जो एल्डरली पीपल के हैं, सारे काम, उनको कपड़े पहनाने, नहलाना, दे नीड अ पर्सन विद देम, एंड दैट इज़ द पॉजिटिव। ओके, और फिर उनको ये जो प्रोफेशनल केयर है, कोई मेडिसिन देनी है टाइम पे दी जाती है, इग्नोर नहीं होते, निगलेक्ट नहीं होते, ऑल दीज आर द पॉजिटिव्स। Next essay is, in the past people used to wear their traditional clothes depending on their culture. Nowadays the trend is changing and people wear similar clothes. Is this a positive or a negative development? अब ये जो क्लोथ्स की सिमिलैरिटी है, आजकल लोग सारे जीन्स टी शर्ट्स में हैं। आगे ट्रेडिशनल क्लोथ्स से, जैसे जैसे इंडिया में साड़ी थी, सूट थे ज़्यादा, पर अब सब ने ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड जीन्स टी शर्ट शुरू कर दी हैं। ऐसे ही जापानीज़ जो थी वो किमोनो पहनती थी, अब वो उनका भी, वो भी सब जैसे और लोग पहनते हैं, वो दे आर वेयरिंग द सेम जीन्स टी शर्ट। सो दिस डाइवर्सिटी इज़ कमिंग डाउन, ये नेगेटिव है सिमिलैरिटी का। पर पॉजिटिव ज़्यादा है, दैट पीपल आर मोर एक्सेप्टिंग ऑफ ईच अदर, ये पॉजिटिव्स हैं। एंड सो इस वे में आप अपना इसका लिखोगे, सिमिलैरिटी इन क्लोथिंग स्टाइल्स इज़ नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव। ठीक है, यू रीड द सैम्पल एसेज, यू विल कम टू नो इसको कैसे अटेम्प्ट करना है, हाउ टू बिगिन द पैराग्राफ्स। Wearing fashionable clothes is becoming important today. Is the attitude to wearing fashionable clothes a positive development or a negative development? अब लोग फैशन फॉलो कर रहे हैं, फैशनेबल क्लोथ्स पहन रहे हैं, ये भी एक आज की हकीकत है। अब ये क्या, ये नेगेटिव है कि पॉजिटिव है? आपने लिखना है वाइल देर आर ए फ्यू नेगेटिव्स ओवरऑल इट इज़ पॉजिटिव, या वाइल देर आर ए फ्यू पॉजिटिव्स ओवरऑल इट इज़ नेगेटिव। कुछ भी लिखो, जो उसी हिसाब से अंदर पैरे बनाने हैं। ओके, so what you will do is, I've explained all the 10 topics. Go through all the 10 essays which are there in this file. And at the end, after having read all these 10 essays nicely, at the end there is one essay for your homework, and that you have to attempt and send to me. In some countries, people are purchasing. In some countries, people are purchasing fewer items, न्यू आइटम्स, नई चीज़ें नहीं खरीद रहे हैं, एंड मोर सेकेंड हैंड गुड्स, और ज़्यादा सेकेंड हैंड गुड्स खरीद रहे हैं। इसके क्या रीजंस हैं, एंड क्या ये पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है? ओके, सो दिस इज़ द एसे फॉर योर होमवर्क। सेकेंड हैंड चीज़ें ज़्यादा क्यों खरीद रहे हैं, सोचो। ओके, क्या इसके क्या फ़ायदे नुकसान हैं? एंड इफ़ यू सी द नंबर ऑफ दिस एसे इन माई बुक इज़ 179। उसके पहले मैंने सारे पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव डेवलपमेंट आपके 10 एसेज में कंपाइल कर दिया है। टोटल एसेज आई थिंक अबाउट 190। सो पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव डेवलपमेंट का इंसिडेंस बहुत कम है, बट यू नो इट्स वेरी इजी टू हैंडल। डू ऑल दीज एसेज, यू विल बी डन विद वन टाइप ऑफ एसे, एंड टुमारो I will be making a video on, I'll be putting up a video on the third type of opinion essay, that is the advantages disadvantages essay, which can be asked like simply what are the advantages and disadvantages of this, कुछ भी ऊपर लिखा होएगा तो दोनों लिखने आपने। उस essay में you cannot go one sided, या ऐसे पूछा जाता है क्या ज़्यादा है, are the advantages more or are the disadvantages more? in any case उस essay में, इन essays में आप one sided जा सकते हो, बट उस ऐसे में आप वन साइडेड नहीं जा सकते हो। सो टुमारो आई विल बी कंपाइलिंग दोज एंड आई विल बी शेयरिंग अ वीडियो ऑन दैट, एंड आफ्टर दैट दे विल बी डिस्कस essay, and then there will be the problem solution essay and the direct question essay. So in 6 classes overall, all the types of essays will be covered for the GT students, and then the 3 types of letters also I'll compile in 3 classes, and that will be done, and then you can pick and choose any essays for your homework every day and get them checked from me. See you. Thank you for watching patiently.